Okay, hello, welcome. So a lot of the material that we're looking at this week deals with the feelings of resistance that many of us feel when we sit down to try to write fiction. And I think that there's a danger in focusing on this, and that the danger is that it makes it seem really difficult and just like this torture that you have to put yourself through, when actually the point that I think all these materials are trying to get across is that you have to sort of hurdle this initial barrier to the blank page before you can find the richness and satisfaction waiting for you on the other side once you get lost in the act of composition. Probably many of you have either felt that or you intuit that it exists out there waiting for you, and that's part of the reason why you're in this class. Whether you're taking it to fulfill a requirement because you think it will be more fun than something like business writing or argumentation, that sense of fun is you anticipating that there's something rewarding and enjoyable waiting for you once you hurdle your resistance to the blank page. Or for those of you who are more interested in actually pursuing fiction writing, who want to become writers, you also have either experienced or anticipate something waiting for you on the blank page. And it's there. It absolutely is. I'm a working writer myself. I write fiction almost every single day, and it's one of the reasons I keep coming back to it. So what is there on the page? Well, I think it has to do with a really curious phenomenon that's developed in the last several decades. So, I mean, even going further back, as radio was invented, as TV was invented, as the internet was invented, as social media was invented, there became more sources of entertainment competing for our attention. And as a result, the number of readers, the number of people who actually pick up and read a short story or a novel has dwindled. Every decade, fewer and fewer people read fiction. But here's the curious thing. Over that same period, more and more people want to write fiction. What's the cause of this? Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, nobody really knows. A lot of people have ideas, and I think, my idea is this, that our current culture, the one that we apply to things like online learning, to social media, to watching YouTube instead of television, all the various things that we engage in our media consumption habits, and in the frantic pace of the world at large, answering email instead of writing letters and sending them by post. All of these things have added up to a culture that lacks something that fiction provides, that writing fiction provides. What is that thing? Well, maybe we can talk about it and think about it, but I think it has to do something with driving our attention outward into distraction, whereas fiction drives our attention inward. The culture fragments our attention and leaves us scattered and looking at many things at many different times, or at the same time, whereas fiction asks us for sustained attention. And the feeling that comes from this, so I mean, I'm sure all of you have experienced being lost in a story, whether you're reading it or whether you're watching it on a screen. So the world just sort of goes away and you're immersed. The same thing happens when you write fiction, except more intensely. And not just more intensely, but in a way that is more deeply and personally meaningful to you. It's a chance to begin exploring the feelings and emotions and circumstances and the roots beneath those things that you've accumulated in your life. So, that's one of the rewarding things of writing fiction. Here's the other thing. So, writing fiction is more than anything about telling the truth. How can this be? Okay, fiction means untrue. If you're reading fiction, you know you're reading something that didn't really happen. But when you're writing fiction, you have to tell the truth in a couple ways. Number one, you have to make the lies of fiction seem true. You have to understand what gives something the semblance of reality. In other words, you have to figure out what reality or truth is made up of on the surface so that you can deliver that to your readers. But fiction also has to pursue some deeper truth. The best fiction doesn't just entertain us. It broadens or deepens or sharpens our awareness of the world, our awareness of ourselves, our awareness of what it means to be human and what it means to be alive. So, when we study writing fiction, what we're actually studying is truth. We're trying to learn to observe the world. We're trying to notice the important details out there. We're trying to figure out what they're composed of. We are studying human behavior. We're trying to figure out human psychology so that we can make sure people are acting realistically. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, truth, truth is stranger than fiction. And the only possible reaction to this saying is, well, of course truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction can't be stranger. People won't believe it. So, I mean, when you're writing fiction, you have to figure out how to make people believe it, and you have to figure out how to show people something bigger, deeper, more important that is true. Pablo Picasso said, art is a lie that leads to the truth. And in no art is this more true than fiction. Fiction itself means a lie, but it aims at some deeper truth. So, look, writing fiction is satisfying, it's fun, it's rewarding, it's immersive, it helps you start to reveal yourself to yourself, and it helps you notice the world around you, including human behavior. These are all the rewards of writing fiction, and they're elements that we're going to pursue in this course. I'm excited to do it with you. Let's get started.